Well, guys, we have a very special treat for you today. No, as you can see, Cameron is not recording with me, but I have somebody a little taller and a little more handsome.
A little more machismo.
Garrett Heatherington, my husband. Welcome, babe. You excited to be on the pod?
Pumped. Been wanting to do it for months now.
I know you keep asking, and we're like, yeah. We actually did have the idea. We thought it would be funny to have both Cam and I's husbands on, but trying to schedule and get all of that logistics was like a pain in the butt. So today you're like, I'll be on the podcast with you. I was like, let's do it. I want a man's perspective. I think this is such a cool episode because, you know, wedding planning, it's like predominantly like girls, brides, whatever, women kind of take the reins on all of it. And you don't really hear the men's perspective as much. I want to hear all the things because we have talked about you a lot on this podcast. You should know that because you should be listening.
I subscribe. You should too.
But I want to like get into the nitty gritty of like all the things that go into the before the wedding day and then the actual wedding day. So like even the proposal, I feel like the proposal is like solely on you guys. It's like the first and only thing you plan in your life. Is it scary? Like, what are your emotions? How did you plan it? What did you think about it?
Getting down to the nitty gritty real quick. Well, it wasn't as much planning as you would think into. I mean, no, I shouldn't say it. It took a ton of planning.
Good answer.
There
Good
was,
save.
well, no, I mean, realistically, it's not like I feel like planning isn't like the hard part about it. It's just like trying to make it, and I guess that is part of planning, but trying to make it as good as it needs to be because it's very special for me, like for the guy, but also I think, and I don't know if I could speak for every dude that does a proposal, but for me, it's like I want to make that day super special for us, but like really more so for you. Like I feel like for a woman, it's definitely more of a special day in that regard. So I wanted to be like perfect, like down to the T, like every detail ironed out. And so for me, yeah, I mean, I guess there was a lot of planning involved in that and trying to get like folks involved to like film it and take pictures and whatnot. Mine, obviously, as you know, definitely a little bit of a tricky story, a little bit of a hiccup with a hurricane coming through the water. So,
Yeah, tell him our story. How did you propose to me and like what went into it?
Man, so long story short, I don't even know where to begin.
You proposed to me on October 2nd of 2022. And I want to say, was that the week you were planning on proposing, or when was the hurricane that came through?
It was that week. That was the week I planned to propose, and the hurricane came through that week unexpectedly, of course. And
dude, remember when we were at your mom and dad's and that tree literally came like this close to your car?
Yeah,
that would have derailed a lot of things.
Well,
like,
I think that was what, like the day before, right?
I don't know.
Day or two before. Yeah. That put a little bit of a hiccup into things, a little bit of a wrench. I think it pushed everything back by like a day or so, which was fine as long as I could still have like our brunch and stuff that I had planned after the fact.
So,
well, no, actually, no, I originally had a dinner planned for us, if I remember correctly. But then I had to cancel that because of the hurricane because I had to push the proposal back. My dad actually was able to hook me up with a brunch reservation at Hall's for like that Saturday or Sunday because I couldn't do dinner anymore. And there was no way I was going to be able to get a dinner reservation like last minute because I had to cancel the one I had prepared for like 2 months or 3 months at that point. So there was definitely some stress involved in that. I was really throwing all my eggs into the basket to pray that that was going to work out. And fortunately it did. And I was able to get that brunch reservation.
It was a perfect day. It was so fun. It was definitely, I probably threw the biggest curveball when I was like at home working out and you were like anticipating that you'd walk in the door and I'd be fully ready. And I'm like sitting there doing burpees and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So, for the people that do not know our story,
which is pretty much
everybody, but kind of a long story short there. So I came home, it was the morning of our proposal that I was going to propose to her. And I don't remember. I think I like went out to like grab like coffee or no, I think I went out and grabbed us like
rosés.
Yeah, I got us rosés from Co-op on Sullivan's Island. Wanted to get her downtown to that little dock right at the right where that Joe Riley Park is. And to do it, I had to come up with this like elaborate scheme to say, hey, I want to go check out. So I work for the port, right? And I'm all about ships coming in. There was like one of the biggest cruise ships to call Charleston coming in that day. And I was like, hey, babe, like before we go to brunch, I would love to go check out this cruise ship. It's supposed to be really cool from what I've heard.
So
And
our brunch reservation is at noon. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I have to be ready at noon.
girl
He
math.
had mentioned the cruise ship thing, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Okay, cool. Like, it didn't.
Yeah, but
didn't
also,
think it was
like,
like on the docket.
After the storm too, it was like the tide was going to be like really high. So it was like another part of it was I'm going around these errands, picking up his frosé, coming back. It's going to be like a good day. Like everything's cool. She has no idea. I open the garage door to our house. And as I'm walking up to the door to go into the house, I hear like some lady being like, you got it. Keep going. Yeah, you got it. And I'm like, she's working out right now. She's getting a workout in before brunch. I'm looking at my watch and I'm just like, we're not going to have time to do this. Open the door. Sure enough, Lindsay's in there working out,
He's
full
like,
sweat.
What are you doing? And I was like,
I'm like fully dressed. I'm like ready to go. I think the whole plan's like going to be flawless. I'm like, oh, you're working out. And she's like, yeah, I want to get one in before like we like, went to brunch. And I had to play it off. I couldn't be like, what are you doing? Like, oh my gosh. But in the back of my mind, I like want to like kick a kitten, right?
well, we had these 2 chairs in our living room, and he like sits down in one of the chairs and is just like watching me work out. And I'm like, what is he doing? And he's just like, well, I like really wanted to go see these ships beforehand. And I'm like, you should go see the ship and then come back and get me. And
yeah,
he's just,
she
like,
literally
sweating.
said that. She was like, well, babe, if you, and I was trying to play it real cool. She's like, well, babe, if you want to go check out the ship, just go ahead. Like, I'm going to finish this, like, get dressed, and you can come grab me, like, afterwards. And I was like, that's not how this is supposed to work. Like, I don't know. And then she's like, but also, too, I don't really have anything to wear. I need to go to the store. And I was like, oh, okay. What do you need from the store? Right at that moment, like, hey, I'll go get it. No problem. And so I just, like, went over, I think, like, Old Navy or somewhere, wherever she wanted it from.
You got me this shirt, but you got me this in every color.
Yeah. So she's like, this is what I want. And then, like, I, like, knew her size. So I went to the store, and I was like, hey, this is what my
soon to be fiance.
soon to be fiance wants, right? I'm showing the lady at Old Navy like the picture of it. I'm like, I'm on a mission. I need this. And she's like, we're looking for it. We find it. And she's like, well, what color? I was like, oh, I don't know. Thinking there's like 2 or 3 colors. There's like 12 colors. So I'm like, oh.
He literally gets me 4 of the 12.
She's 4 or 5.
Like
I was just like
basic,
every single one of whatever size she was that she needed. I was like, let me get that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Brought them all home. And I was like, look, here you go. Pick of the litter. Because I wasn't trying to like waste any more time.
No.
So we go do the proposal, or to the area where I'm going to do the proposal. And the best part about it was like, I was expecting there to not be too many people on this dock. And there ended up being this like one couple from out of town, clearly. And they're like doing these pictures. I'm like, all right, so they're going to get out of here sooner than later. I didn't want to do it while there were people there. But like the guys over there being like, oh, hey, babe, like take a picture of me like falling off the dock. Ah! And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to throw this guy in the dock.
And he kept mentioning it. And I was like, why is he so perturbed about this?
Finally, they get going. But my heart is just like beating out of my chest because I'm like so nervous because I just wanted to go like so well. It was like nerves because like she was going to say no. I knew she was going to say yes, but I mean, I was planning on her saying yes.
Well, we've been sitting there and talking about it for months. And at one point I was like, should I just ask you? Like, what are we doing here? You know, we had already picked out the ring and all that.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of girls can relate to. It's like you pick out the ring, you're like waiting. Like you want it to be a surprise, but you're kind of like, hurry up. Like,
yeah.
When we pulled up to the dock, I kind of had an inkling of an idea. And you still don't believe me.
She says that, but she didn't. It was a spot that she took us to like one time when we first started like seeing each other years ago. Yeah, I just thought it'd be a really great, like, special spot to take her to, especially because we had really never gone there again since that first time. I figured that'd be pretty special. And so she, to this day, says, oh, yeah, like, I kind of had an idea. She had no idea. Don't let her fool you. Anywho, we're there. The moment's about to happen. And I just, like, I think this was part of my plan. I'm not really 100% sure, but I was trying to get her, like, look away so I could get on my knee real quick. And so I point over at the Yorktown across the harbor and I'm like, babe, look, something just fell off that ship. And she bit on it, you know, and she's like, what? I don't see it. I'm like, look right there.
It was sweet.
And then I got down on my knee, turns around and
we cried.
She
said
yes.
She
cried. I cried. She said yes, of course. And the rest is history. Here we are. The planning aspect of it, a lot did go into it for planning. I knew that I was doing it then. I wasn't trying to wait. And I can't remember why. There was something like the next week where like if I didn't do it that weekend, it was going to be like everything was going to be like thwarted. There was going to be something going on.
No, we were going on vacation. We went to
Oh yeah, we went to Cabo.
Yeah. And you didn't want to do it, and I didn't want you to do it overseas because you had never been anywhere out of the country yet.
No.
And I was like, to carry a diamond and then have to worry about all the logistics and stress of doing it. I just didn't want it done out of town. But
so it was stressful.
No, it was perfect. It was like a perfect day. It was so fun. Then we had our friends and we went to brunch. We celebrated. It was such a fun day. Probably the best day.
Shout out to Hezzy and Linda. They paid for brunch.
But yeah, I would say like best day ever other than our wedding day. So let's get into that because that's where the fun starts. Wedding planning, baby. So would you say that I was a bridezilla?
Well, I guess if it's a safe space, yes.
It's a safe space.
People talk about bridezilla with weddings, and I mean, I always assumed my bride to be would also be bridezilla. Was never prepared for the bridezilla extent that I experienced. I guess we'll leave it at that.
Okay. So in the planning process, how involved were you?
This isn't, mind you, this wasn't by choice per se. I wanted to be as involved as I could in like literally any of the major decisions that you made, right?
Okay.
And this is pre Lindsay, a notch above events wedding planner realm, right? I didn't realize that my wife was going to be like in this full blown like planner mode going into our wedding. And I didn't really know what to expect because I didn't know, were we going to have a planner? But then like early on, she said she was going to do all the planning. I knew there would be some intricate details that go into planning a wedding, of course, right?
I remember us like laying in bed and we had like just gotten engaged maybe a month prior. And I'm sitting there on like Facebook Marketplace scrolling and I'm like, babe, I'm going to go get this candlestick in North Charleston, which is like 30 minutes away. And he's like, you're crazy. Like, why are you like, we just got engaged, like just enjoy the moment. But in my mind, I'm like, no, we need to like start planning because I know how long it takes to plan. I also know like to book a venue in Charleston, it's like you're booked out a year, sometimes 18 months. So I was like, we don't have time to wait. Whereas you were just kind of like, no, it's fine. We have time.
Well, in fairness, the whole thing was, hey, we just got engaged. Let's like take a month, literally just a month to enjoy us being engaged. Because I knew that once we go, just from other friends of mine being married, once you go down the path of planning the wedding, whatever it involves, I just know like there's no turning back at that point and you're in it, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, let's enjoy being like an engaged couple for a month, like this little like honeymoon phase of that sort. And she was like, yeah, for sure. Let's do that. And then literally like she said, like not even a week later, probably like the next night, we're just laying in bed and she's like, hey, I'm going to go get this for the wedding. And I was like, all right, we're in it. So,
which if I could give anybody a little bit of advice when you first start planning, like, think about what your color scheme is, what your design is before you just start buying decor because it's so easy to just see things and be like, I like that, I like that, I like that, and not really have a clear vision. And I bought so much decor that I didn't use or that didn't fit once I got later on in the process. So I always tell brides, like, start like looking at your decor maybe like even 6 to 8 months out instead of like 12 months out. That was something that I did kind of regret doing, because I did spend a lot of gas money driving around to people's houses and getting random trinkets. Okay, so I did want to ask you some questions.
Fire away. That's what I'm here for.
So in the planning process, like, did you have any idea about all the little micro details that go into it? Did you kind of just think like, oh, you get a venue, like you show up, or did you realize that there's like a lot of details that go into it?
No, so I wasn't naive in the sense of like, oh yeah, like we're engaged now, like we're going to do some planning, we're going to pick a venue, we're going to pick a cake, we're going to like pick our suits and like her dress, like whatever, and like show up, like that's it, right? Bada bing, bada boom. No, I knew there's obviously more intricate things that happen before you're married, before like the wedding, like the plan for the wedding.
Are you surprised by some of the things that you saw on wedding day?
No, I'm not. I wasn't surprised by anything I saw, to be honest, because I mean, I've been to enough weddings in my life to where like on wedding day, it's like, oh, like this is how that all came to fruition for like that couple in the past. It does take a lot of legwork. I definitely wasn't surprised by anything. I think I was more like surprised or taken aback by when you would tell me things were like, oh yeah, like I got this happening or this is arriving on this day. And I had zero clue that that was even like a part of like our wedding day. And you're like, oh yeah, well I booked this like weeks ago or months ago. And so like we're doing that. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess so. Definitely more times than not, I'm sure you could attest to, where I said, why do we need that? We don't need that. And to be honest, I still to this day don't even know what we really spent as far as like a wedding budget.
No, yeah,
and I don't really want to ask questions because like that's kind of out of sight, out of mind at this point.
Actually, two things you fought me on were the 360 photo booth, which was
turned out to be a hit,
and the cigar roller that I bought. So good.
They were things that I just figured, I was like, I just didn't think we needed to spend the money on those things. But then like in retrospect, in like the day of, I'm like, oh my gosh, 360 booth, so cool. It was such a hit. Everybody loved it.
Everyone loved it.
The cigar roller, like I felt super cool and super bougie, like in a good way.
It was fun. And all the guys really loved the cigar. Yeah. And that's what I wanted. Like I wanted to plan a party that was focused on entertaining and being a host and like just really having our guests enjoy themselves. And pretty much every single person left and was like, that was such a fun wedding. It was like one of the most fun weddings ever, blah, blah, blah. Like we had an awesome DJ, all the elements, everybody had fun. Everyone was dancing and hanging out. It was a good day overall. But what would you say are like the parts that you really cared about and then parts that you maybe just pretended to care about for me?
Parts that I really cared about, one of the biggest ones was my suit color, which, mind you, full disclosure, I cared about my suit color. Love my suit color that I went with. Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
Was not the suit color that I envisioned or ever wanted. I wanted more of like, not an electric blue, but you know, like that
electric blue,
that like nice blue, like the analysts on Sports Center and stuff wear, like that color blue.
We got married in the
good
fall.
White sneakers. That's what I wanted.
Sneakers on your wedding day? No, man. No.
Like a fresh pair, like new, you know, like not like scuffed up.
No.
But
you wore dress shoes.
That's what I always envisioned. And I don't even think I had a say in that. I think it was like a thought I just kept in my mind. And like, she just knew I was thinking it. And she goes, no, you're doing this color. So I went with it.
You wanted like an electric blue suit, babe. It was blue. Like, so we got married in the fall. And so like, I'm trying to think of like fall colors. We went with like I went with mahogany, terracotta, like that champagne, like really like leaned into the fall aesthetic.
For sure.
And then you wanted like an electric blue suit. And I was like,
and it would have been hot. It would have been fresh and people would have loved it. And they would have talked about it to this day.
I think if we would have maybe gotten married spring, summer, I would have entertained blue. I would have.
But I never had that option because you run hot.
Well, yeah, that was the thing about the season. Well, you
damned
proposed
if I do,
to me,
damned if I don't.
So you proposed to me in October. And then I knew like I wanted a full year to plan. I didn't really want to wait 2 years and I did not want to get married in the summertime. I hate being hot. It's like my hell. He literally ask him ever since we've been married, he hasn't gone outside.
And I used to love the beach. I don't know
what it looks like
anymore.
Beach.
And I am totally here, future husbands to be, grooms to be, whatever you want to call it. Happy wife, happy life. Yeah. Very true statement. Live by it. I live by it. Learn it if you don't know it yet.
But you loved your green suit. Everyone loved it.
Everyone it was a hit. The people raved about it. They still do. I wear it every now and then to certain events. It's a great suit. Yeah. Thank you for that. Electric blue would have been better. But
so maybe when we renew our vows, you can plan it and you can wear your blue suit.
She says that now. I will have zero planning. She'll control it.
Accurate. All right. Next up, what's something brides stress over that men truly don't even notice?
I think that's kind of a loaded question, or a tough question, I should say, because I think just from our wedding experience and like the planning of our wedding,
you noticed everything I stressed about.
There wasn't one thing she didn't stress about, to be honest. So it's like really tough for me. Like, and I get it. The thing is, I never sat here and was like, oh my gosh, why is she stressing so hard on this, and that? Because I get it. She wanted to have like the perfect day, like, again, like a good party for everybody to celebrate us. And like, it ended up being like so awesome. Right. And just like an epic day for everybody. I think there's like little things, maybe like looking at table settings and stuff, like the placemats for people, like however shaped they were, the placement of them. I think there was like a lot of stress on that because actual day of the wedding, the guy who runs our, who ran our venue was like, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and call Lindsay. And I was like, no, do not call Lindsay. That is what we don't do today. I was like, executive decision. I may die by making this decision. Not sure, but we're going this route. Completely different from what she wanted if it doesn't look good. And you know what? It looked great. So.
Yeah, no, it did look great. It did look great. And you did. You were like, nope, do not. And I'm glad because honestly, on the day of your wedding, you don't stress about like your table setting and your napkin fold and like whether something's wrinkled or not. You just don't care about that. Leading up to it, I did. I was like a psychopath, but on the actual day, you just have to like let it go and just be in the moment, I feel like. And I feel like I was so stressed leading up to it, but I do feel like I was really good on the day at like letting things go and enjoying it with you and like taking in those little moments.
Yeah, for sure.
So something that we did, this is not controversial, but it is something that is like pretty divided. Whether you do a first look or not. And you were like, that was one non-negotiable. Yeah. That and kids. Like I didn't want any kids at our wedding, but he wanted our nieces and nephews. And like, he was like, look, these are my 2 non-negotiables. He's like, if I don't get my suit, like, he's like, I'm getting my nieces and nephews in our wedding. And he's like, and we're not doing a first look. Like, I want to see you walking down the aisle. And honestly, I'm really glad. The only downfall in my eyes is you have to take all of your photos during cocktail hour. We also got married after daylight savings ended. So it was just like the sun goes down a lot earlier. So there was a lot more like logistics in the timeline. But I have seen, now that I've done 1,000,001 weddings, I've seen so many guys do a first look. They don't cry because they're kind of like overwhelmed and people are staring at them. And then they see their bride walk down the aisle and they sob like a baby. And I wouldn't trade your reaction to me, especially now that I see them in like videos and photos, for anything. Like, your reaction was so good. It's like, it's my favorite photo is like the one of you turning around and seeing me.
Maybe I'm just like super old school. My vision of like marriage for a wedding for me, you're not supposed to see your bride until she walks down the aisle. And like, that's what I wanted to hold like true for myself. Like, I wanted to like not do any of this, like, cause I'd never even heard of a first look until that point. So for me, I was like, yeah, I don't even know what that is. But then once I found out, it's like, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah. I want to see her walking down the aisle and like have that surprise. Like, so when my back was turned, our pastor, Joel, who did our wedding, when he was like, man, turn around and look at your like smoking hot wife or something like that, I turned around and it was just like, I mean, it was like all the emotions like flood into you right there. And it's like, it's something that you just can't like describe, to be honest. And I mean, again, everybody has their preference, but like, I feel like everybody should like experience that at some point. Yeah. And it's a really cool like emotion and feeling to like see your wife to be for the first time walking down the aisle in her dress. And it's pretty breathtaking. And yeah, wouldn't trade that for the world.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
Cried
really,
like a baby.
You did cry like a baby. I feel like every man in your family cried like a baby. Really, it was very sweet though. Okay, what's the best way for a bride to get her fiance involved without nagging or begging? Like, you shouldn't have to nag or beg.
Like in the planning process?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should have to. I mean, if you're, I can't speak for other people, but I feel like if you're having to nag or beg your significant other to like be a part of the planning process for y'all's wedding, to me, that maybe actually be like a red flag. I get it. Some people are busy. I would still want to be involved in some way, shape, or form, like more so than not too, with the planning of my wedding with my future wife. Because if you're not, I just feel like you're just, I don't know, you're a team. You're supposed to be doing this together. Like, it shouldn't be like falling on just one person per se. And if you're just not interested in planning, at least give some kind of opinion, whatever it might be. Like,
or act excited at least, you know?
Yeah.
Like you and I, it was like, we picked out our venue together. Like, we toured a lot of venues. I think we toured every single hotel in our area for like a place to stay and the hotel blocks. Like, we really wanted it to be nice for our family. We constantly went out and like did wedding research.
As I say, that was like the fun part. And like, And if you're a guy that doesn't like to do planning, or you don't like to be involved in whatever, and you think like the woman should be doing this or that, make it a fun thing. Like we
Yeah.
made it like, granted, I just like to do like stuff anyways, like with my wife, because like she's my best friend. But it was just like we made like fun times, like she said, wedding research. Like we would like go to a venue and like we would test out drinks there. We would go to certain places, like, oh, let's check this out for like a rehearsal dinner and do like wedding research. So, like every other night, like, hey, do you want to do wedding research?
I know, we did a lot of wedding research.
You know, but it was like we made it fun. We didn't make it like, because it was very stressful, I think, on her end. I think her stress obviously directly translated onto me. So like I was stressed too. So like that like loosened things up, lightened the air, like made it more fun for us to like enjoy what it was leading up to the wedding.
What would you say, was there anything that you like dreaded about the process? Like engagement photos, or I don't know, like the tasting was kind of fun. We liked that. But like, was there anything in particular, like picking out outfits or doing the invites or anything?
No, not really. Because I mean, you're planning like your wedding together. And again, this stems to like any other guy that's engaged looking to be married, like planning with their like soon to be wife. If it's a task for you, if you feel like it's a task to like go try on your suits, go look for this or that, or go do tastings with like your fiance, like, I don't know, man, like suck it up, figure it out. Like, well, I'm just being serious, because like, if you love that person, you want to be with them, this is a part of it. And if you don't want that, then you two need to have a conversation. Maybe just get eloped. Like maybe like having this wedding planning isn't the thing for y'all. Again, happy wife, happy life. Just like go with it and like be happy. Things could be like way worse, you know?
For sure. My very, very optimistic, positive husband. You're like the yin to my yang, honey.
Always glass half full.
Your glass is runneth over. But be honest, did you care about the aesthetic of our wedding?
What does that even mean?
Aesthetic is like the table settings, what it looked like the color scheme, just like the flowers. Like, did you care about the overall aesthetic of it?
I mean, I definitely think so, because I mean, the whole thing came together as one because of all the little intricate details that like that
when you walked into like the dining room, where you're like, oh, this is like really pretty, or did you just
for sure
not even care?
No, so I really did. And there were certain things to where like I feel like I wasn't really too involved with you, because like you just kind of made like some executive decisions without telling me, because you were just like in this like bride mode planning, and you would just do things. Like there were times I actually be like, hey babe, fill me in, like let me know, I want to know what's going on, like it's our wedding, you know what I mean? Like,
I know that makes me feel sad. I wish that I would have been more like not crazy.
No, you were fine. I mean,
I wasn't like trying to like leave you out of it. I just, like you said, I was like very much like, okay, this is the next thing that needs to be checked off the list, and let's do this and let's do that. And you know,
I think you also, I mean, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, you maybe also were just in the mentality of, I'm sure my husband like doesn't want to be bothered with like planning the wedding. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but also too, I'm one of those people, and my personality is like, I want to check it off the list. Like, I want to stop stressing over this, and in order to do that, like, I need to finalize that task. Whereas you are somebody who is like, well, like, we don't need to do that today. Like, babe, you're stressing over it. Like, we can do that like later on. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do it later on. Like, I want to do it right now. And that's us in life anyway. Like, you're very much like, yeah, well, let's talk about it later. And I'm like, I've already done it. Like, I've already done it because I don't want to wait. I'm impatient and I just want to do it. So I think that that's where you and I like didn't really see eye to eye, where I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and book the thing and pay the person and, you know, buy the decor and whatever, because I just wanted it really to be done.
Well, and to keep going with that, so like showing up on wedding day and seeing like the certain little things that like I wasn't necessarily like directly involved in, I was like, oh man, that is like super cool. Whether it was like the little box or something for like people to like give their envelopes for like money or whatever it was for like a gift. Like there were so many little intricate things that she did. Yeah. Like there were so many little things where she did and I kind of maybe knew about or didn't, but I wasn't fully involved in. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that looks so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think like everything was done exactly the way it needed to be done. And
would you say that you wanted more responsibility, or are you happy that I handled everything? I think we kind of already answered this, because you pretty much said that you wanted more.
Yeah, well,
and I was like,
I don't think
I'm doing it all.
It's not that I wanted more responsibility, because there was really nothing on my end that I could really feel like I could have added that would have made like your vision different or better. especially because like it was a great vision and like everything came out the way it should have. The only thing I would say I wish I had more of was just more like, I wish I was filled in on more things than like I was, because you definitely, like, again, like we just talked about, you kind of just ran with certain ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, I thought they all ended up being great, but it would have been like, hey, I wish like we could have like chatted about it before, because I would have liked like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like let's roll with that, you know, like, but at the end of the day, I don't really think my opinion mattered too much, to be honest, because like I could have told her, no, like let's go with this floral arrangement, and she would be like, we're not doing that.
All right, walk us through the brain of a man on wedding day morning. Like, are you, because I know like girls, it's like we are kind of like, we have butterflies and then we're like, we get in the makeup chair. We have like a lot of things going on in the day, where you guys kind of are a little more relaxed and chill. But like, how did you feel on wedding morning?
Felt pretty good. There was nothing like really weird or like stressful, to be honest, because I had already like my vows were done, so like I didn't have to like stress about too much. My brother, my dad were doing a few, like they picked up a couple things for me, I think that morning, and then like had all my guys meet me in the morning. Like we all kind of got ready together, and I mean we just kind of started drinking some beers like early on, or maybe even some bourbon, I think, just like enjoying the day, getting dressed, and then like kind of headed over to the venue. So there really
Mm-hmm.
wasn't much like stress. I mean, I guess the only stress was when I did get a call from the planner and the guy who ran the venue. So
What was like your overall emotion on the wedding morning or day?
I mean, it was like it was full excitement and but there were nerves at the same time. It's kind of like it was kind of like on the, not as much as on like the day I proposed, because I had put all the work into like
Mm-hmm.
the proposal and I needed it like to go exactly as planned and like perfectly, you know? So like I wasn't nervous in that regard. It was just like nerves, like, man, like this is like my day I'm getting married. Like you think about this day like so many times through your life, and maybe like, you know, it's just you're there now and it's like, holy crap, like I'm here the day of, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like surreal more so than anything.
So we didn't end up doing a first look, but we did do a first touch and we read our private vows to each other. Are you happy that we did that instead of like reading them out loud in front of like people?
Everybody has their own thing. I'm very happy we did it the way we did. I thought that was a pretty cool thing to kind of like reach around a wall, like hold each other's hands, read our vows, because I think vows are definitely a very private, like a private matter,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to like spill my heart out in front of like tons of people. I don't
Well,
know.
I always tell people like we had our family and friends, but we also had like coworkers
Yeah,
and bosses, and like we had certain people that we kind of invited, and that, you know, was just more like political, I guess. And so you
yeah.
don't necessarily want to be like, "Hey, stinky baby, what did," you know, it's like, what did you just say? And I also too, like, we are best friends. Like we hang out all the time. We love each other's company. So it's like the
BFF.
biggest day of your life and you're like just wanting to hang out. Like I just was like missing you. And so even though we didn't do a first look together, it was like nice to like touch you and like read our vows and like cry together and kind of like check in with one another before the actual like big moment,
Yeah.
to kind of like relieve some of those nerves and just, I don't know, it kind of like centered me a little bit. That's how I
Yeah,
felt.
I fully agree. I mean, I think the first like touch, if that's what you want to call it, you know, I think that was a pretty cool thing. I really like that, and I think it was a very intimate moment for us before the actual ceremony.
Hmm.
And yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
At what point on wedding day did everything hit you emotionally?
That's tough. I think it all probably hit me when I was walking down the aisle to kind of get into position with Pastor Joel. He said a prayer over me before him and I walked down the aisle, and like he had me bawling in tears, and I was like, man, Joel, I was like, come on, I'm not supposed to cry just yet. And he's like, and he said something, I forget what he said, and it was really good, but he was like, you know, he's like, man, it's not me. He's like, yeah, that's like the Holy Spirit, like God's got you, man. And it was really cool. But
Yeah.
at that moment when I was walking down the aisle with him, that was kind of when it like really hit me, like all those emotions kind of all flooded
Yeah.
in and like overwhelmed me. And like I was sitting there, because honestly, once I was like up at the altar, I was okay. But then it was like once I saw you, like a whole nother flood of emotions came. And then when we were like standing there holding each other's hands and like Pastor Joel was talking over us, honestly, I feel like I just like blacked out. Like it was just
Same.
like I was just like, it was so surreal. I was like, didn't even realize what was happening.
That's kind of why I'm glad we had the videographer like record the whole ceremony, because, and I tell brides this all the time. I'm like, even if you'll never watch this again in your life but one time, but it's nice to relive it once because you do black out. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like this overwhelming feeling and you're just like, oh my God, everyone's staring at me. Like, it's just a weird scenario to be in, and you do kind of black out a little bit. So I was happy that we had that to like look back on and kind of reminisce. Were you worried that I was going to be like overly stressed on wedding day? Like, did that play a part in any of your emotions? Did you think that I was going to react and like that I wouldn't be able to like be in the moment and calm down?
Yeah, I think to an extent that definitely played a part, or like a thought in my mind, because I mean, just knowing how you were leading up to the wedding, I mean, you definitely like were very like,
there was eggshells that we were walking on.
There was a daily eggshell for sure. It was a very, very fine eggshell. But no, I mean, I just think you got a lot of stress leading up to the wedding, like that you put on yourself, and a lot of like things you put on your back that like, you probably could have not been so stressed about. But
yeah, we did a kitchen renovation like a week before.
That's a different story. I don't think that's for this podcast, maybe another one, but we should definitely talk about that. Do not do renovations on your home the week of your wedding. Really bad idea.
Also, I got COVID. That was brutal. Oh. You stayed the night in a hotel for like the week.
You want to talk about, should we really talk about stress? Yeah, I had to stay in a hotel for like the week leading up to our wedding because my wife got COVID.
Well, I didn't mean to.
Well, I mean, of course, right. But I'm in a hotel by myself and I'm just like, what are we going to do? And then I'm actually thinking of like, we got like more like elderly people coming to our wedding too. Like, do we cancel the wedding? What do we do? And like, it was pretty wild. But anyways,
it was a lot going on.
But anyways, all that though adding up, yeah, day of the wedding, I thought for sure that like there was going to be something that like went wrong, or a few things that would go a certain way that she didn't like. She was like, no, this is supposed to be this way. And she would maybe like freak out. But honestly, everything went really well. And there were, like I said, there was like one or two things that I had to handle, and it couldn't have gone better, to be honest. I think the wedding day itself like was super, super flawless in my opinion.
What's a piece of advice that you would give to a groom before his wedding?
That's a really tough one. I would say just honestly, man, enjoy the moment that you're in. And that includes like all the time leading up to your wedding. It's going to be stressful. There's going to be hard times with you and your significant other. And if there's not, like, congratulations to you. I mean, that's awesome. But I would just, it's normal to like have a little bit of a spout here and there with your significant other. You're going to butt heads, but enjoy the moment. Know that that time's going to come. You're going to meet each other down the aisle, and you're going to realize it's all worth it. And this is the person that you're spending the rest of your life with. And yeah, man, not everybody can sit here and say that they had that opportunity, that they have that opportunity. So have fun with it. Don't stress too hard. I know it's tough, but if that's one piece of advice I could give, is just like, have fun with it, enjoy it, love it, like cherish it. You're going to look back on it and you're going to like really love it too. Yeah.
There is something that I heard like leading up to our wedding, and it was like the day goes by so incredibly quickly. And so just take little moments to be present with one another, because 1 minute you're in the makeup chair, the next minute you're doing the send off. Like, it flies by
for sure.
And so, and like half of it you don't even spend with each other because you're getting ready, and a ceremony usually is like 4 or 5 o'clock. So I mean, that's half the day right there. You're kind of solo. I would say like take moments to really be present. We did not leave each other's side, I don't feel like, all night long. Like, we had so much fun together. Like, we smoked cigars together, we danced together, we did the 360 booth together, we took shots of Fireball together. Like, we had so much fun. We talked to our friends and family together. Like, we just were with each other all night, which was also really nice. And I think that that's so important. Like, spend time together. It's your wedding day, and you don't want it to end and then you're like, did we even hang out? I don't even remember. Like, it was a blur. Also, don't drink too much. Oh my God. I did constantly tell you, I was like, don't get too drunk with your boys. I want you to remember everything. But
I kept it in check.
And you were like, babe, like, it's important to me too. Like, this is my wedding, like it did mean a lot to you. But I've seen some grooms where like they're barely making it down the aisle, or they're like, doing a one-eyed dance. I'm like, come on, what are we doing?
I mean, I think everybody has their own thing, but for me, it was like, I don't know. I mean, marriage for me has always been a pretty big like sacred moment in my life. And I think, I mean, I know it meant and means a lot to me. And so like, I didn't want to be that groom showing up like buzzed up to my wedding day. Like I wanted to get there, be like clear headed and remember the full moment and enjoy it and, celebrate it for what it really is,
All right, we're going to do rapid fire.
Boom.
This is quick. What mattered more, food or music?
Food.
Oh, okay. Best part of wedding day.
Best part of the whole wedding day?
Best part of the whole wedding day.
Or first dance?
One thing men absolutely do not care about.
Flower arrangement.
Okay. Flower arrangements. Got it. First look or no first look? Obviously, we know where you stand.
No first look.
What shocked you most about the whole process? How crazy I am?
Honestly, yeah, because
how much you can handle.
It really does.
Boot camp.
It really does show you how much patience you have for your significant other, and it definitely was a shock to realize that Bridezilla mode took my wife into wanting to do a whole home kitchen renovation the week of our wedding.
Okay. Well, the ladies were getting ready here, so like it had to look nice.
It looked fine regardless.
Okay.
But it looks great now.
All right, great now. Last one. Are men actually listening when we show them inspiration photos? Yes or no?
I don't know what an inspiration photo is.
Like inspo. It's like Pinterest board. Like how we want things to look. Okay, that's no.
I think no. I know. I say no. I didn't know what I meant. Again, this stems back to what I said at the beginning of the podcast. If you don't care about what your wife future wife to be is saying or doing, that's a red flag.
So just pretend.
Yeah, just again, happy wife, happy life. But you should be interested in what your fiance wants.
Hashtag of the whole thing is happy wife, happy life. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. We're glad you tuned in. Hopefully, you took a little bit from this episode. Maybe you got to listen to this with your fiance. Give him some tips and tricks. And as always, you guys can always follow us on any of the social media platforms. On Instagram, we're at RSVP_thanks_pod. You can also find us on TikTok, RSVP.thanks.pod. Continue to send us your questions. We are getting a lot of DMs lately, but honestly, the best way to reach out to us is our email. So RSVPthankspodcast@gmail.com. Send us your emails. We promise you it is all very anonymous. We're not going to call you out, but we want to hear more stories. And if you guys want to call the hotline, please do that. That number is, gosh, I don't have Cam with me. It's 320-558-7787, I think, RSVP. Next week we will have Cam back. We love you. You're beautiful, but we do miss her. So can't wait to have her back. As always, guys, happy planning. And do not forget to RSVP. Thanks.